Hi, I'm Kristen of Woolly Petals, and I am here to teach you how to quilt. This is the New Star Beginner Quilt course, and it's going to cover how to make this pattern right behind me, also shown here on the pattern. It is a quilt block right here that you sew together, and then once you have all your quilt blocks sewn, you sew them into a quilt top like this. The New Star Beginner Quilt course is a weekly go at your own pace quilt course. It's all free based on YouTube and with a companion blog post on my website. The first week is starting April 1st, 2024, and it will go for 8 weeks through May 27th, 2024. Every week you'll get a new skill or technique or step for making a full quilt. And at the end of the 8 weeks, if you follow that step-by-step process, you will have made a New Star quilt. If you're finding this course after May 27th, 2024, you should be able to access all of the weeks and go at your own pace and learn how to quilt from all the weekly videos. My goal is to have 1+ weekly videos that are 30 minutes or less long, so that you can kind of do this in chunks and learn how to quilt in an easy, simplified manner. So bear with me because I don't consider myself a teacher, but it is my passion to help others learn how to quilt and to help you find joy in quilting and fabric. And so that's why I'm doing this, to have resources on my website and to help you find quilting and learn to love it. So in order to follow along with the course, you're going to need the pattern. That's the only cost to the course. It is available in my Etsy shop as a PDF download. And the course is going to follow the cover quilt, which is this quilt right here. And you're going to make this quilt within the course. Now you can follow these exact colors, or you can sub in different colors / fabrics for the colors on the cover quilt. We are going to go into week 1 talking about fabric and supplies. Our supplies videos and blog posts are already up, so you can dive right into that. Week 1 is fabric, quilting fabric, where to find it, how to figure out how much you need. The pattern tells you if you're making the cover quilt, but as you'll learn later, the pattern is customizable, so you could design your own style of New Star quilt, such as this one, which is a little bit different than the cover quilt, and figure out what fabrics you need for that. Week 2, we're going to get into cutting our fabric, cutting all the pieces we need. Week 3, we're going to learn the techniques for this quilt, which are the stitch and flip method, which is how we get these points on the stars. We are going to learn the HST method, which I don't have visible up here, but if you look at the cover quilt, you can see it has this border around that have squares that are triangles. HST means half square triangle, and so that's what we're going to learn. And we're also just going to learn simple straight sewing and how to get better at that. Week 4, we're going to move on to actually assembling our quilt blocks, which these are 2 individual quilt blocks for our cover quilt. Week 5, we're going to be assembling all the 16 quilt blocks we've made into a quilt top, and we're going to be adding those borders. Week 6, we're going to learn how to make a backing, and we're going to baste together our quilt top, our batting, which goes in the middle, and our quilt back to make a quilt sandwich, so that in week 7 we can quilt the quilt. That is topical stitching all over the quilt in a design to hold the layers together. And then we'll learn how to trim off the excess backing and batting. And then in week 8, we will learn how to make binding and sew that binding onto the quilt. And we'll talk a little bit about labels at the end as well, because you want to label your quilt whether you're keeping it for yourself or you're giving it to somebody else. So that's kind of an overview of what this course is. And each week I will have videos along with a companion blog post that will probably further explain the videos or vice versa, depending on what I remember to say. Like I said, not a teacher here, just somebody who's passionate about quilting, wants to have a free resource for you to learn. And I really hope I can cover things and help you learn how to quilt with the New Star Beginner Quilt course. This is YouTube and blog based on my woollypetals.com website. If you are here and have followed me on Instagram, that's probably where you can find me pretty much daily. I'll probably have some sort of Instagram post that will have the New Star Beginner Quilt Course logo, and you can ask me questions there and find other new quilters there. And always feel free to reach out in comments on YouTube and by email. I am probably most likely to respond quickly on Instagram though, so just keep that in mind. You can jump over to our supplies videos and blog post, or dive right into week 1, which is fabric. I hope to see you in all the upcoming weeks of the New Star Beginner Quilt course.